Alright, so last night I was going to try and make a tutorial where I staged or where I programmed this intersection to animate the lights, and I ran into some bugs which I don't know how that happened. It's so weird, like like the way it transpired. So I kind of wanted to make a quick video about um, things to watch out for, mistakes you can make if you do something wrong and you save the signal file. You might run into a problem where you click traffic lights and you get nothing. If you click it, you see it flash up on the right. See how it's flashing, but it quickly disappears. And if you look in the errors, there's no error, apparent error. I'm not even getting any errors on my map that I can see. Whereas um, if I did this save session and try and save it, that would actually generate an error. So my latest bug that I'm dealing with, let's see if that gives an error. Yep, see there's failed to save session data. So that's the error I'm still getting. Well, actually it's slightly different than before, but still getting an error when saving the session. But now I'm getting no error when I try and open up the traffic lights icon. And I'll show you quickly here how that transpired. Now I could probably fix it if let's say I deleted the signal file. So if I went into my main directory and deleted the signal.json and started fresh from the East Coast signal.json, maybe that would fix it, but I've tried reversing what I've broke and nothing seems to get this to come back. And I don't think it's an issue with my triple screens. I've rebooted, waited a day, tried single monitor, tried triple monitor, nothing seems to get this back. So I'm only thinking it's a bug, and I will show you what not to do. So because I can't open that traffic icon, I'm going to do it through here. Gameplay, traffic signals editor. That still does open. So when I first started this intersection, I was using 5 and 6, which currently have nothing on it because I tried removing everything to solve my issue, but that didn't help. So when I originally created, I created 5, and I set 5 as the primary, and then I assigned the other intersection, the other direction to 6, and I set that to also primary. I was supposed to set that to secondary, but I mistakenly set that to primary, and I went File, Save. It saved the signals file, I rebooted, and immediately I was not able to open this anymore. So I don't know, all I did was save the signal file like that, and now I'm getting this glitch. So if anyone's ran into that, I'd love to know what causes that, or if you've ever had any luck fixing it. But as far as I'm seeing it on this map, I'm not going to be able to add, I'm not going to be able to add any more intersections because of that issue, but the issue started on the very last intersection that I needed to complete, which is curiously great timing, I guess. So the map is done, but I can't add, if I wanted to add any more, if I ran into this issue earlier, I would have struggled to figure out how to add more. But in this case, it's not a problem for me, but if you ran into that, you might have to delete the signal file, or you might have to try to delete everything in your traffic window right here. So if I went through and just click that, delete, you know, I've already tried removing the assignments, but I didn't try removing. So when I did get this intersection working, but I had to create new instances, which I created 21 and 22 to actually get this one working, and I saved the signal file by the only way I was able to it wasn't, I tried it 3 times basically, and for some reason it was just bugging out, and then by the time I finally got it on, like, I got 21 and 22 spawned in, and this thing wasn't opening, so I was no longer able to play the animation and test it. So in order to get it to work, all I did was I just manually copied over the instance 21 and 22 data from a older backup that I had made. Like I was kind of testing something. So you can migrate, you can merge signal files, data, but in order to do it, what I did was, here, let me copy the entry. So let's just take 22. So if I control F, look for 22. So this is what I snipped over. See, that's the end. So the closed square bracket and the, wait, maybe is that right? Maybe that's why I'm having issues. Let me see. So controllers, type, that's the end of that first line, right? You can see because the comma means continue me, or comma means there's more, basically, right? So here's the second entry, I think. That would be the end right there. So this is kind of how I go through and fiddle around and try and make sense of the file. But you can see the comma means, hey, there's more. The squiggly bracket comma. If you just have no comma, I think that means it's the end. So see how there's a comma right there? So these are kind of the ways I look at them. So if I go down to 22, so I can see that's the beginning of the end of the previous one. So here's the grouping on 22, which would fit. So I basically took this section from another signal file that I made, and I just pasted it in here, and somehow it worked. It saved, it started animating, everything was good. So I don't know, and it doesn't have the object assignments in this entry, so I don't know where it's actually storing this inspector object ID. I don't know where it's storing that. Like maybe it's in another folder somewhere. If anybody knows, I'd love to know. This is what you do to kind of pinpoint the lines in the JSON in the signal file. And then here's my, what is that? That's my stop. So I actually created some stop sign sequences, hopefully. And then you can see this whole thing is ended by a square bracket comma. And then we start my sequences. So if I go up, I should have square bracket. Oh, there's my square bracket. So there's the starting square bracket for controllers right there. If I go down to the end, you can see that end square bracket comma. And that would end essentially, I think end that. I don't know where it went, but I also made a drag strip controller, which is cool. I made some lights here. Let's see if they still work. And I timed them. So that way they go red, and then green will be your start, essentially. So I created so there's your go. So drag controller, I kind of made a new one. And all you can do, you can actually manually adjust these timings, which is cool. But when you do file save signal, it's that part I'm kind of in the dark about. I haven't unlocked all the secrets to that, but I just wanted to show the bugs and maybe a sneak peek or a peek into the signal.json to kind of maybe give you some tips. So when you see instances, so these are all the instances that I had created. This everything from here down was basically created in that traffic manager that doesn't actually open now. So these instances and down was created in this icon, which doesn't open anymore. So I don't know. The reason why I created these two new ones was because when I was having them on 5 and 6, things were weird. Like, remember I said I had saved the singles files and restarted the game? Well, I noticed my 6 was on primary and it should have been on secondary, but even on when I set it to secondary and saved the signals file, tried it 3 times, still my both intersections or both directions were green at the same time. So it wasn't actually saving the secondary versus primary correctly. Has to be something to do with when you file save signals. If you do that and something's wrong, I don't really know how to reverse that. So that's why I kind of say if you're setting these up, make sure when you're going through that your primaries are primary and your secondaries are secondary for the timings. And don't save until you know that the objects in that list are correct. Now I can't show you the old window, but my previous video does. But maybe I can try and figure out how to fix this. I don't know if I want to, but That's the bug to watch out for, and that's it. If you wanted to restart this whole process and kind of like start fresh and get rid of all this and start over and go back to East Coast and get the raw signals file and kind of just start fresh, I just wanted to quickly go over what you would have to do. So in order to have any controller data or any sequences to even start with, you could probably just create your own sequences and controllers using this menu. But the way I did it, and it's not, it seemed easy. All I did was go to East Coast, and I'll just quickly do it. So we're not spending too much time. I just want to show you that this is what East Coast looks like. So if I just went, so what I would want to do is take everything from here up. So let's do that. I'm just going to copy it to make it simple. Copy, I'm just going to paste it right here. So that's that. So that's my square bracket right there. I want to leave. Oh, I don't want the instance information. And so I want to do sequences. And then that should give me the ending. So if I just copy that, my fresh file should look something like this. So see how that's the beginning of the controllers. And then after controllers, you just have sequences. The square bracket has a comma here, but then the square bracket here has no comma, ending it. More thing, I just wanted to quickly point out what it's supposed to do. So I'm in the template map now. I just want to show you what the bug is. When the bug is not there, it's supposed to do this. So traffic manage. Oh shit! Still doesn't work. Well, that's crazy. I don't know what I did. Maybe I broke something. Well, I was gonna say something, but hey, I feel like I have a habit of thinking it's one thing and then I go to do stuff and it still doesn't work. So I don't know if I broke something in the traffic manager, my whole game, I wonder. I really don't know. That's so weird. I hope I didn't, but I'm actually gonna try this on another computer and I'm gonna copy this game folder over to that computer. I'm gonna see, or the map over, I'm gonna test the map on that computer and I'm gonna test the traffic manager on that computer and we'll try that. Since that issue shows, let's see if I get an error while I save this. Missing session data. Oh. Oh, that's because I don't have a signal file, maybe. I don't even have a signals file in this map, and it's giving me that issue, huh? That is weird. Yeah, I don't even have a signals file, and yet I'm still having that issue. That's strange. Alright, let me try it on another computer. I don't know what I did. Maybe I broke something. On the template map, I wanted to show what it does before I move anything over. This is a fresh computer. I didn't modify any maps on this computer. I don't make maps on this computer. I really just test my maps on this computer. It's a old, 2070 RTS 2070 i7. So I'm just opening up the template map. I'm going to traffic lights. Boom. You can see that the menu does open here. I can actually create instances. That works. And I'm actually going to save the session, which does work. I'll show you that. So I'm just creating a session save, test, create. Going into, actually I'm creating a folder and then I'm going to save it into that folder. So here is the test folder that I just created. And you can see the JSON it creates. That's a signals file JSON. So you can see it works when I have a fresh template map. And I'll show you the template folder, just the script. So you can see the top has author, debug, description levels. That's kind of like comes with when you save it from that session. I couldn't show that in my last video because it wasn't working. But then the controller information that kind of starts. I've already talked about that stuff. And then your instances, those instances were created when I saved the signals, or the traffic manager, I guess, created those. And then that last part, that signals keep original, signals save apart vehicles version, that only appears to be when you save the session. That code doesn't come up when I save signals, so I don't know. I don't know if I need that code in there to avoid problems, but so now I'm going to move my map over to my levels folder. I'm just going to unzip it, and I'm just going to paste it into my app data local BeamNG Drive levels. Now I'm launching the game. We're going to test it with with my map and see what happens. I'm going to go into World Editor and just check that they're working still on this new computer, which they are. So you can see all the lights are working. So now on this other computer, you can see my traffic manager signals button does work. This opens. That looks good, and you can even see that the assignments. So I set this on the last two, 21, 22. So you can see the green arrows are or the yellow arrows are gonna be on those lights, those objects. So all that's came over when I copied my map folder. I'm going to do a quick test, show you that the session does not save. So that's my test JSON. So if you see, I'm actually getting that callback failed error now, whereas before with the template map it was working. So it appears to be something with the signals. I don't know. I can't make sense of where that information is coming. Like earlier I said, the objects are not listed in the signals file. So my traffic lights work. It appears if I wanted to, I can continue adding more intersections on this computer. In order to fix it on my main computer, I think I'm gonna have to probably make a backup of the map and maybe reinstall the game or something. I'm not too sure, but for what it's worth, I think whatever I broke is not fixable. So here I am back at my main computer, and you can see hitting the traffic button doesn't work. So I think I'm gonna have to reinstall on this computer. So just to summarize, the first thing is if you're making traffic lights, make sure your primaries and your secondaries are matched up before you save signals. Always make a backup of your game folder. The more backups you have, the better. If you merge signal files together, make sure you make a backup before you do that. That's pretty much it. And just wanted to kind of show some bugs and issues that I've seen with it. If anybody has any input on that, feel free to let me know, but that's it. Alright, see you later.